Can Vecna really be defeated, or are we talking about an indestructible being? Many believe it's impossible for him to die, that he's a kind of immortal who always comes back. But friends, the truth is that he does have a weakness. And the best part is that Dungeons & Dragons, the game that inspired the whole series, has already shown us exactly how Vecna could be defeated once and for all. So get ready, because this video might just save your life in the Upside Down! To begin with, what is Dungeons & Dragons? If you haven't noticed, it's the main game the whole series is based on. The names, the monsters, the references, the rules, everything came from there. From this game come names like Demogorgon, Mind Flayer, and of course, Vecna. It's a game where you and your friends tell a medieval fantasy story full of wizards, heroes, and monsters of different kinds. But the most important thing is that this game teaches us how Vecna really works. Vecna is not a normal monster, nor a demon, nor a dragon. Vecna is the most powerful Lich of all. But what does it mean to be a Lich? Relax, you still don't know? We'll explain that a little later, because it's the key to understanding his weakness. For now, just think about this. A Lich is a wizard who separated his soul from his body through great power. And that's true, it makes Vecna practically immortal. Defeating him isn't as simple as putting a few bullets in his head. And not anymore, my friends. Vecna is harder to defeat than a cockroach. It's a somewhat complicated process that requires several explanations. But don't worry, after we explain it to you, if you ever run into Vecna, this could save your skin. To defeat a Lich, you need at least 2 or more of the following elements: legendary items, psychic interference, the betrayal of the right warrior, and the most powerful one, the Phylactery. And yes, friends, all these things have their equivalent within Stranger Things, so let's go step by step. First, legendary items in Dungeons & Dragons. There are objects so powerful that they can even harm an immortal being. Actually, there are several, but we'll only mention the ones most related to Stranger Things, like the Orb of Annihilation, a portable black hole capable of erasing anything from the multiverse. It touches something and poof, it disappears in Stranger Things. It could be a destructive rift from the Upside Down, a portal that disintegrates whatever crosses it, or a point of dimensional collapse. The Book of Embodied Darkness, a grimoire with the darkest and most dangerous spells ever written. With this book, you can learn Vecna's secrets, weaken his magic, or even use his own power against him. In Stranger Things, it would be the equivalent of all the hidden information about Henry Creel, the Upside Down, and its origin. Other legendary objects we might find are radiant weapons, blessed artifacts, or even the most important of all, the Sword of Cass, which can be directly connected to Eddie. But don't worry, we'll get to that in a moment. All of these can be reinterpreted in the series as a mysterious weapon, a psychic object, an artifact from the Upside Down, or even a new ability for 11. And now that we've finished with the legendary items, let's move on to psychic interference. Here is one of Vecna's most direct abilities in Dungeons & Dragons. The best way to weaken a Lich is to interfere with its concentration. If it loses mental focus, its spells unravel, its defenses drop, and it becomes vulnerable. We've already seen this in Stranger Things. Max survived thanks to her favorite music. The trailer, where we hear extremely high-pitched sounds and frequencies, or Steve's car coming in, all tuned up to break the psychic barrier. All of that is equivalent to attacking Vecna's mind to leave him open for the final blow. In fact, 11 could reach a level where she goes directly into Vecna's mind and leaves him vulnerable. The betrayal of the right warrior in the original lore, Vecna has only been defeated once. And do you know by whom? By Cass, his own star warrior? It wasn't an enemy, it wasn't a hero, or even a rival mage. It was someone Vecna never expected would betray him. And here's the important part. Cass truly defeated him, destroyed his physical body, tore off his hand and eye, and sent him out of his own plane. And when Eddie returns in Season 5, he will be the perfect representation of Cass within the series and the one in charge of betraying Vecna from the inside. I'm not just saying this randomly, it actually connects Stranger Things lore with Dungeons & Dragons. But we'll leave this for the video about why Eddie is going to return in Season 5. Okay, now, if we want to understand Vecna's ultimate weakness, we need to know what a real Lich is. A Lich is a wizard so powerful that he decided to split his soul into an object called a Phylactery. When a Lich does this, something very strange happens. His body no longer matters, age no longer affects him. Now he can't die from blows or weapons, not even if his body explodes, because even if his physical body is destroyed, his soul remains alive. Vecna is practically immortal, and that's why physically defeating him is only the first part of the process. If the Phylactery still exists, Vecna always comes back. It doesn't matter if you burn him, hit him, cut him, or blow him up, he always returns. It's as if he downloads his soul from the cloud and puts it in another body. The Phylactery is basically like his charger, his wizard, his backup file, or his external battery. That's why if you don't destroy his Phylactery, you don't destroy Vecna. So then, how do you destroy a Phylactery? This is where it gets tricky, because destroying a Phylactery requires very specific things. In Dungeons & Dragons, it can only be destroyed with the Orb of Annihilation or the Sword of Casts. Rituals from the Book of Vile Darkness, Divine Magic, Mago's Number. And a UNT. Flask. Pep is not a physical object, but rather his psychic connection to the Upside Down. That's why we explained it that way in Season 4. They mentioned that Vecna operated from his own house, the place where Henry Creel became a monster. That means that house could be the physical representation of the connection between Vecna and the Upside Down. Others think that his Phylactery is the radio he used as a child to communicate with the other side, and Brenner might have kept it in one of his laboratories. And finally, the biggest theory is that collapsing the entire Upside Down would kill his source of magic, his link, and his soul, leaving him completely mortal. And with this, we could already figure out the final answer on how to defeat Vecna in Stranger Things. But before I tell you the answer, comment Stranger Things 5. If you're enjoying the video, leave a like so I can keep making content about your favorite series. Now then, how would this play out in Season 5 to defeat Vecna once and for all? Easy, friends? Season 5 is going to be split into 2 parts. So in the first part of Season 5, the kids defeat Vecna's physical body. For that, they use music, frequencies, psychic attacks, a powerful object like the Sword of Kaz, represented by Eddie, maybe his guitar. Afterwards, Vecna grows, and in Season 5 it's revealed that he's still alive, so the mission to destroy his Phylactery begins. This might require them to find the radio, destroy Henry Creel's house, break his psychic connection, or collapse an entire part of the Upside Down. Within the internal lore of Stranger Things, there's a detail that went unnoticed, but it could become the perfect key to finally defeat Vecna. Patty Newby, the sister of Bob Newby. Henry Creel was in love with her when he was a child, and Patty was the only person Henry confessed to about what he saw. How did he get his powers, and what was the Upside Down really? Many think Patty may still be alive, and if so, might be the only one who understood Henry before he became Vecna. Her information could help the kids figure out what his Phylactery is, or what the exact connection is that keeps him alive. It's not that Vecna put his soul in an object, but that Henry formed an emotional bond that could expose everything. This information would be really useful for Eleven to find a more direct way to attack Vecna, now that she has more control over her powers than ever before. Eddie returns not as a ghost, but as the embodiment of the warrior Cass, the only one with real narrative strength. To betray Vecna and break his final defense, Vecna doesn't fall just once, he falls twice. First, they would destroy his body, then they destroy his Phylactery, and only when both things fall does Vecna disappear forever. And even though it might not seem like it, the game the kids have been playing since Season 1 always had the answer. Did you already know that Vecna can't be defeated just by hitting him? Did you think he was an immortal villain? Tell us in the comments! And if you want us to explain why Eddie is coming back and how he's connected to Kaz, we have a video that's gonna blow your mind. See you in the Upside Down.